Hi, I'm Anupama Chopra and you're watching me on MissMalini.com. I do research and I'm helped in this by my associate Kalpana, who pulls out lots of interviews, and then I go through all of them. I watch interviews, I read old interviews, I try and read up as much on the star or the director that I am talking to, and from all of that research I cull the questions. That's a tough one. I've had so many really interesting people. I've always had great fun talking to Shah Rukh. He's for me the most articulate, the funniest person. But I have to say the most entertaining so far would have to be Salman Khan, who, I don't know if you watched the show, but spoke largely in Hindi, because before I started recording, I was talking to Katrina about a Hindi teacher because I need to improve my Hindi. So, and then in the middle of the show, he said, "आप सोच रहे होंगे कि मैं ये हिंदी में क्यों कर रहा हूँ? इसलिए क्योंकि इनको हिंदी नहीं आती." And he cracked up and I cracked up and I responded to that with, "नहीं, मुझे हिंदी perfectly well आती है," which really has sort of downgraded my credibility for all of life. Well, this was the funniest incident so far, and Salman is just he's sort of a force unto himself, and there is no controlling him. So in the middle of the interview, when Katrina would be giving an answer, he would sort of look into the distance and start saying, "I'm having a good day today." So it's just hilarious because there's no way to actually have a kind of linear, constructive conversation. And then he, at one point, I remember he gave a really long answer, and both Katrina and me looked at him and said, "But what did that mean?" So that's definitely the funniest interview I've done. There's been lots and lots of funny things. I remember doing an interview with Shah Rukh in London, and he said, "Well, do you have any makeup?" And I didn't have any makeup. His makeup man had already left because Yashji's shooting was over. So both of us, well, we didn't look our best, let's say, but we did the interview anyway, which was great fun. He's always just great conversation. There's also, I recently interviewed Robert Redford, who I don't know why, but he was about an hour late for the interviews. And so we were doing this in a hotel room in Toronto. And we were all these journalists were kind of queued up in this, in the corridor of the hotel, and there was no chairs. So eventually all of us just sat on the floor, and there was this just line of international journalists just sitting on the floor waiting for Robert Redford. But that's part of the job. I think hanging out is something I excel at now because in Bollywood especially, very few people are on time. They don't show how grueling it is for me to look like this. It takes like 1 hour of sticking things into my hair, and it takes endless dabbing between every single sentence that I say for me to not look like a shiny ball of oil. And while we're talking about makeup, I have to tell you that this is not what I look like in real life. So one guy at the Srinagar airport came up to me and said, "लेकिन आप टीवी पे तो बहुत अच्छी लगती हैं." So you can imagine how much work this takes. I'm styled by Nikhil Mansata, and no, we don't coordinate colors with the guests. I never know what they're wearing before they come, but we try and coordinate my colors with the set so that I don't look completely out of place. Again, I think that would have to be Salman, because I asked him about preparing for his character in Ek Tha Tiger, and what kind of research he did, if at all. And he said, "नहीं, मैं तो जब 25 साल पहले इंडस्ट्री में आया था तब प्रिपेयर होके आया था, तो उसके बाद कोई ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी प्रिपरेशन की." I don't have any favorites. Honestly, I go into a film excited by the project, what the story looks like, what it's going to be about. I have, I suppose, genres that I prefer. Then I'm a big sucker for romance and sort of the Yash Chopra white chiffons and all of that. And I'm not very happy to see extreme violence, especially since I've had kids. I find it very disturbing. I find it hard to look at. I literally just close my eyes. I can't watch. But I don't have a favorite star. I don't sort of go into a movie more excited because it's a particular star. I find Hrithik fascinating. I find his sort of focus and his determination and his ability to kind of just shift looks and do the things he does very interesting. I haven't interviewed him for a long time. It's been a few years since Kites, so I'd love to talk to him again.